What do the 49ers need to do to become Super Bowl contenders again? I have an easy answer, but I feel like this answer is like it's an easy answer.
I mean, to me, if it's like, well, they got to draft in the trenches and they got to, it's like, yeah. But if that's the route, then you're 2 years away or 3. I mean, you got to like hit on all your first, second, third round picks. They all need to be in the trenches. I mean, the Niners have never been that kind of team. To me, I don't know that there is one necessary thing that they can do, but it seems like if they were to actually trade for Myles Garrett, I would like their chances in the NFC West. I mean, if they had Myles Garrett and Nick Bosa on the same defense for a year, they could probably find a couple defensive tackle run stuffers. Dude. Maybe that would be interesting to me, because if they don't get Myles Garrett and he goes to Washington, then you can't tell me that there's a move the Niners can make to really bridge the gap between those teams and Philly, let alone freaking LA and the Arizona next year. I mean, look, yes, they need to draft well. Kyle would play no rookies if he had it his way. So I think they got to do something in free agency. And last year they did a whole bunch of nothing.
I do agree with you there. I just also feel, you're not going to like this, man. We had a lot of injuries this year.
No, it's true.
Like, we had a lot.
I don't think they can be like, hey, man, let's just re-sign Greenlaw, get healthy, and boom, we'll be the best team in the NFC. Like, I don't know, man. Philly's way better than that now, and Washington has hella cap space. Like, there's going to be teams making big moves. The Rams could go get T. Higgins. What are you going to do? It can't just be re-sign Greenlaw.
Oh, 49ers, let's get T. Higgins. You see that rumor? Get T. Higgins.
I can see Kyle wanting to do that.
But why?
Because he's obsessed with wide receivers.
Yeah. I would love Myles Garrett, though, man. Myles Garrett on this team. But the question is, what would we give up? I don't know. I made like a kind of like a mock trade. Let's say you're the Browns GM, okay? You're the Browns GM. I'm offering you this. Our 11th overall pick and our 2 third-round picks. Are you accepting that deal?
Yes.
You are.
But what if the Browns were like, you know what? But no, they wouldn't want Bosa, right? Like, what do they need Bosa for? They suck. They're not going anywhere.
No. Bosa,
they need to start over.
Bosa on their team would not change a thing.
They wouldn't do anything. So, like, you couldn't even trade Bosa for him. No, yeah, I would do that. I would.
You would.
Even though it's like, well, you're trading 3 picks for one guy who's not going to make you. I mean, what is the point of having this old team? They're like one of the oldest teams in the league. You keep hanging on to the core because you think it's special. And you just said there were a lot of injuries. All right, man. So get healthy, bring back this old team, and add one more all-pro to it and see if you got it. I mean, I feel like that's what the Rams did. They had a very old team. They finally went all in 2021, won the Super Bowl, and like, okay, we're old as hell now. We're gonna suck for a year, but we're gonna rebuild, and then we'll be young. And that's what they're doing. I think that the Niners eventually, before you start the rebuild, which is coming pretty soon, like, why don't you just like win the Super Bowl one freaking time? Is that so much to ask for, man?
It's not. I mean, I'm 0 for 3 in my lifetime.
And the last time they won a Super Bowl, they went and got Dion, and it was just for 1 year. Like, they were not freaking messing around, and they weren't like, well, it's not going to count if we go out and get players who weren't part of our culture. Like, who cares? Ring forever. Kiss it. Look at it. You want to see it?
If I was Lynch, Myles Garrett's the only priority I'm looking at this offseason, man, because he would change our team. He would literally change our defense. If you have Nick Bosa and Myles Garrett coming, like, that's.
I mean, he's arguably the best player in football, right? Like, he would, and that's what Trent was for a while.
Yes, he literally he won Defensive Player of the Year last year. If we have him and Bosa, that's unfair. That's literally an all-star team. That's not even fair. Not even fair.
And I mean, I wouldn't trade 4 first-round picks for him, or maybe even 3. But if it's 1 and a couple of day 2 picks, I think I could swing it for the best player in the league. Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Do it.
He's not a one-trick pony. He's not just a pass rusher. He's not.
He's the best player in the league. He had 14 sacks this year.
And he's good against the run.
Exactly. He would be absolutely amazing. But now, since we're talking about Myles Garrett.